Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome, deep divers. Today we're diving into the thrilling world of cooperative board games, specifically a title called Sky Team.
Mm.
Our mission for this deep dive isn't just to tell you what the game is, but to really extract the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight from its rule books, promotional materials, give you a comprehensive understanding of what it truly means to be a pilot or co-pilot under pressure.
Yeah, and what's truly compelling here, I think, is how the source material for Sky Team goes way beyond just game mechanics. It's absolutely packed with details that simulate a real high-stakes landing scenario.
Right.
It offers both that general overview, but also some surprisingly granular insights into, well, the critical art of a perfect touchdown. It really grounds the whole experience.
Absolutely. So at its core, Sky Team is this unique cooperative game designed exclusively for two players. You slip into the roles of a pilot and co-pilot of an airliner.
Just the two of you.
Exactly. And your shared objective is, well, simple on paper, but profoundly challenging. Work in tandem to land your aircraft successfully. Airports around the world.
Sounds easy enough.
Yeah, right. And the fascinating core mechanic. You achieve this by silently assigning your dice to the correct spaces in your cockpit. This isn't just like a game action.
No, it's the heart of it.
It's the very essence of balancing the plane, controlling speed, deploying flaps, extending landing gear, clearing your path with a control tower, all silent.
And this immediately raises a really fascinating question, doesn't it, about the nature of cooperation itself? I mean, how do you truly collaborate when direct verbal communication about your specific dice, the ones you rolled, is strictly forbidden during that crucial dice placement phase?
Yeah, that's the killer part.
The game isn't about explicit instructions. It's really a deep dive into implicit communication. Every single action you take, every die you place, it sends a signal to your partner. It's all about building this shared mental model.
That's such a crucial point. It forces a certain kind of synchronized thinking, doesn't it? A real mind meld.
Definitely.
And to guide you through this whole process, the game unfolds over 7 distinct rounds, each round broken into 3 phases. You get a strategic discussion, and then your dice rolls.
The planning bit.
Right. Then comes that tense, silent dice placement, and finally, the end of round checks. See what happened.
So how do we actually do this landing? I mean, what are some of the critical systems Sky Team asks you, the players, to master in the cockpit?
Okay, yeah, let's get into the controls.
That's really where the brilliance of the design shines through. The game cleverly distills a complex control panel into these core functions. You're constantly adjusting the plane's axis. You can think of it as maintaining your delicate balance in the air.
By keeping it level.
Exactly. If your inputs here, the dice you place, aren't synchronized, the plane becomes unstable. It can even spin out, which is an immediate loss condition.
Ouch.
Yeah. The goal, obviously, is a perfectly level aircraft for that final landing. Has to be horizontal in that last round.
Okay, so keeping it steady is job 1.
Mm-hmm.
But you're also managing its forward momentum, right? Getting it towards the airport.
Precisely. You'll use dice to control your engines and therefore your speed. That dictates how far your plane actually advances on the approach track towards the runway.
Makes sense.
And these two controls, axis and engines, they are so fundamental that in every single round, each player must place a die on them. 1 die on axis, 1 on engines.
Every round, mandatory.
Mandatory. Fail to do that, and it's game over instantly. It really reflects the essential duties pilots have to maintain constantly in real flight. You can't just ignore balance or speed.
Okay, so those are non-negotiables. Once you're on approach, getting closer, what about getting the plane ready for the runway itself, the configuration?
Right, that's where flaps and landing gear come into play. You deploy flaps in a specific sequence, top to bottom, to control your descent and aerodynamics. That moves an orange marker.
Okay.
And similarly, activating the landing gear involves placing dice, moving a blee marker this time, directly impacting your plane's readiness to touch down safely.
And presumably, you need those down for landing.
Absolutely. Both the flaps and the landing gear switches must show green, fully deployed by the end of the game for a successful landing.
Got it. What else?
Then there's the radio, vital for clearing your path. You're placing dice here to communicate with the control tower, essentially removing air traffic, these little airplane tokens, from your approach path.
Ah, so other planes getting in the way.
Exactly. You can't land safely if the runway approach is crowded. All those tokens have to be gone by the end.
Okay, that's a lot to manage silently. And for those moments when the dice just, aren't cooperating. Is there any wiggle room?
Yes. There's a vital bit of pilot skill represented by coffee. or concentration tokens, technically.
Coffee. I like it.
Huh, yeah. These aren't just a simple reroll mechanic, though. They represent a pilot's ability to adapt, to think on their feet under pressure. You can spend a coffee token to modify the value of a die you're placing by +or -1.
Oh, that's handy.
It's crucial. It offers a way to course correct when the unexpected hits, or when you simply need to make a specific value work for a certain slot.
Okay, so it sounds like there are definitely plenty of ways for things to go wrong. You mentioned spinning out from an unstable axis. What are some other critical failure points we need to watch out for?
Oh, plenty. Well, you could overshoot the airport entirely, advance too far on the approach track when you should already be positioned for landing on
Yeah,
that final screen space. That's a loss.
going too fast, basically.
Or too far, yeah. Or conversely, you could crash before even reaching it. If the airport isn't in your current position screen when your plane marker is on the lowest current altitude space, game over. Altitude and position have to sync up.
Right, can't be too high when you arrive.
Exactly. And then for that final critical victory condition in the last round, it's all about braking. Your total engine speed value, the sum of the dice placed there, must be less than the position of the red brake marker.
Ah, so proving you slow down enough.
Precisely. It indicates effective deceleration for a safe stop on the runway.
Okay, this basic landing sounds challenging enough, but here's where it gets really interesting from what I read. Beyond that initial training landing in Montreal YUL, that's its airport code,
Mm-hmm.
the game offers this thrilling global journey. There are, 11 different airports? And 21 exciting scenarios, all inspired by real-world landing conditions. Imagine the variety.
Oh, it's huge. You're not just flying to different cities on a map, you're tackling conditions that genuinely push pilots to their limits in reality.
So give us some examples. What kind of turbulence are we talking about?
Well, think about hitting a strong tailwind coming into Rio de Janeiro at GIG, or having to deal with a general wind module that's constantly shifting your approach, making that axis control even harder.
Okay, wind. What else?
You might encounter kerosene issues, like really precise fuel management being required in Oslo OSL, or even a specific kerosene leak scenario, where the amount of fuel you lose is directly tied to the difference between the dice you place on your engines.
Wow, okay. Fuel leaks.
And then there's traffic. Imagine a sky just packed with it, like trying to land in Atlanta, ATL during American Thanksgiving, or dealing with heavy fog and these complex holding patterns flying into London Heathrow, LHR. Very atmospheric.
That sounds intense. Fog and holding patterns.
And it gets even more extreme. Picture landing on a frozen solid runway during a blizzard in Keflavik, Iceland Cafe. That introduces an ice brakes module.
Ice breaks.
Yeah, it requires incredibly precise matched dice values just to deploy your brakes effectively on the ice. Super tricky.
Good grief.
Or how about navigating treacherous turns around ominous clouds and mountains? Places like Tuncantin and Honduras TGU are famous for tricky approaches. Or battling intense electrical storms over Kuala Lumpur, KUL.
Wow, so how does the game actually introduce all these variables? How does it make sure no two landings feel the same? Is it just random?
Not random, no. It's the genius of the special modules and sometimes special abilities chosen for each specific scenario. They layer on top of the basic rules. For instance, that traffic die module. It literally adds more airplane tokens onto your approach track, making those radio communications even more critical. Clear the path.
More planes to dodge.
Exactly. Other scenarios might grant you special ability cards as rewards for doing certain things well. Like, maybe you get a reroll token if you play matching dice values on the engines. Or you might even get to roll an extra traffic die as an action if you've skillfully managed your landing gear and flaps ahead of time.
Ah, so you can earn little advantages.
You can. These modules really transform the game with each new airport, each scenario. They create these unique tactical puzzles that prevent any single landing from ever feeling routine. It keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, it's clear that while, dice rolls introduce randomness, the game heavily relies on that strategic planning and the subtle, unspoken communication we talked about earlier. The game's own strategic advice sections really emphasize this.
Well,
That briefing period at the start of every round, before you even touch your dice, it sounds absolutely critical. Discussing strategy, identifying urgent needs. It's like your mental pre-flight check.
it truly is. And to delve a bit deeper into communication in this game, it's not just about what you say in that briefing. It's about the powerful signals you send by where and how you place your dice during the silent phase.
Right. The action speaks.
Exactly. Your placement communicates crucial information about your own hand, your available dice values, and, more importantly, what you need your teammate to do, or maybe what you anticipate them doing based on the board state.
Uh-huh.
This truly tests your synchronization, your ability to put yourself in your partner's shoes, which is, a critical skill not just for pilots, but for pretty much any successful team working under pressure.
That's a great way to put it. And the game's advice, it highlights some very specific strategic things to think about. For instance, the axis. While it's dangerous if you let it get wildly unbalanced,
Game over, potentially.
right, but it offers a surprising degree of flexibility. It doesn't need to be perfectly level until the very, very end, which allows for some tactical use of dice earlier on, maybe using a less ideal number there to free up a better one elsewhere.
That's a key insight. And those coffee tokens representing your concentration, they aren't just for you. The advice suggests generating them carefully throughout the flight, and crucially, don't hoard them until the last minute.
Share the coffee.
Essentially, yeah. Using them strategically to empower your teammate's critical move, maybe letting them adjust their die, can be the difference between success and failure. It's a shared resource.
So sometimes it's about reacting, but
Yeah.
other times it's really about setting up your partner for success.
Exactly. And that plays into timing, too. Sometimes actually delaying your die placement on critical spaces like the axis or engines can be a powerful move.
Holding back. Why?
It allows your teammate to act first. That gives you more information based on what they did and potentially enables their optimal move, which then informs your own best placement with your remaining dice. It's a bit of a waiting game sometimes.
Interesting. And communicating your plane's speed quickly, or rather the intended speed based on your engine dice, that seems paramount, especially when you need to advance exactly 0 or 1 or 2 spaces on the approach track. Every increment matters.
Hugely important. Yeah, getting that speed communicated nonverbally is tough but vital.
And then as you get closer to the ground, the timing of deploying your flaps and landing gear becomes everything, right? Directly impacting your plane's ability to descend properly and control its final approach.
Correct. You need to manage the altitude correctly, and deploying these at the right time is key to that descent profile. And remember those radio calls.
Yeah, clearing traffic.
The advice points out they're generally more impactful when you target planes that are closer to your current position on the track. Prioritization is key there, too. Don't waste a call on a plane miles away if there's one right in front of you.
Makes sense.
All these different elements, they just reinforce how success requires, well, nerves of steel, as the source puts it, and a really deep understanding of your shared situation. It's not just about individual actions, it's about a truly integrated effort where, ideally, two minds become one.
So, wrapping this up,
Mhm.
what's this all mean for you, our listener? This deep dive into SkyTeam, I think it reveals a remarkably intricate cooperative experience. It's built around that silent communication, that high-pressure decision-making, and honestly, a surprising level of thematic depth.
Mhm.
It's a game that really challenges your ability to adapt together to handle these incredibly diverse real-world landing conditions from a relatively serene Montreal approach all the way to battling a blizzard in Iceland.
And I think beyond the game itself, the principles of SkyTeam resonate with these broader concepts of teamwork that apply far beyond the cockpit, right? The success of the landing, whatever your shared goal is, isn't just about executing individual actions perfectly. It's
Yes.
about the seamless integration of two people, often relying on those unspoken cues, anticipating each other's needs, especially when the pressure is immense. And the fact that, as the sources highlight, real pilots were involved in the game's inspiration and development, that just adds another layer of appreciation for its realistic challenges and maybe the profound lessons it offers about collaboration.
Yeah, absolutely. So for your final thought today, consider this. How often in your own life, maybe at work, maybe at home, especially in those high-stakes situations, how often does success hinge less on explicit instructions, on being told exactly what to do, and more on that silent, intuitive synchronization between you and your collaborators?
Hmm.
Think about how those unspoken cues, those almost telepathic connections, sometimes how they guide your collective landing, whatever it may be, towards a successful outcome.